Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today in 33 days. I'm going to complete Tarry Town today, and I'm going to try to do it without warps so that we can get to basically 99.89% or something like that. In fact, I don't need to complete it. I only need to do the first 3 steps to get all of the shops in town, which will add percentage to the map. And speaking of Tarry Town, and this guy in particular here, I want to talk about a theory that I had basically on the first day when I watched the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay trailer. Since then, a couple other people have brought it up, and I think it's one of the potentially most exciting possibilities for Tears of the Kingdom in general, and it makes a lot of sense. Some people think it doesn't, but let me get into it. So the idea is that there might be a chance that in Tears of the Kingdom we get to rebuild Hyrule. Where does this idea stem from? I actually need to cook some food to get some hearts here. Where does this idea stem from? Not only have we seen a bunch of these platforms in the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay trailer with signs next to it, which at this point I am pretty sure will give you parts for constructing vehicles with ultra hands, but you might also be able to build like literal garages or like vehicle fast building points or something like that there. I think that's an option. But in one shot in particular, this is the final shot when Link dives into the water after doing some skydiving. You can actually see this big slab of bricks kind of covered in under like a, I don't know, blanket, some fabric. Now, this slab of bricks did not exist in this game. It's basically a new asset, and that immediately made me think maybe Hyrule was, before Ganondorf attacked, in the process of being rebuilt, and maybe we get to actually do this now by, for example, bringing resources. Let's say the Bolton construction company has expanded, and by bringing resources like wood and maybe stone, which hasn't really been a resource in this game yet, to those locations, maybe even having to transport them using those big vehicles like the cars. If you bring certain resources to these locations, Bolton and the team will rebuild ruins and maybe build little settlements, shops, etc. Now, a lot of people have brought up the valid argument that it doesn't sound like a good idea to rebuild Hyrule like right now, when Ganondorf is literally attacking and we see Blood Moon. The Blood Moon is like shooting essentially meteorites to the ground. That I do agree with. That doesn't sound like the best timing to reconstruct Hyrule. Maybe reconstructed ruins have some sort of plot armor where once you've actually rebuilt them, they are safe. Or this is something exclusive for the late game, especially post-game. And this makes a lot of sense to me, because one of the biggest... This is still something I hear on my stream to this day. One of the biggest complaints for Breath of the Wild was that there's essentially no post-game. You beat the game, you beat Ganon, and I know this hasn't really been the case for many games, many Zelda games, but in this game it would have really made sense to be able to at least explore Hyrule without the castle being surrounded by malice like this, and maybe unlock some additional conversations, maybe have some extra mini games, some extra quests that you can only do when Hyrule is saved. I definitely understand the frustration there. I definitely understand why people disliked the fact that there was no post game, and maybe them potentially adding this little gimmick where you can rebuild Hyrule after the game is done potentially is their form of adding post-game to Tears of the Kingdom. I personally think from a completionist perspective this would be amazing. Slowly rebuilding Hyrule, getting new shops, new inns, maybe new armor, maybe even unlocking some unique fetch quests and weapons, who knows, from rebuilding Hyrule. And like, how amazing would that feel? You start out with Hyrule, with the most expensive Hyrule we've ever had, with Sky Islands, underground caves, potentially underwater, which also already comes with a sandbox, right? The sandbox is basically... Oh, I said I was going to do this without warping. I mean, from here, getting back from here is definitely going to be a lot easier. Oh, right. This is what happens when you have bomb barrels equipped. Don't have bomb barrels equipped on that mountain. Pro tip. Don't even know why I had those equipped. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so we have the super expensive Hyrule with a sandbox built in, essentially, with a vehicle mechanic, right? And then we also get to rebuild it after we are done with the game to essentially, from a completionist perspective, get the ultimate version of Hyrule that's completely rebuilt. Like, how good is that gonna feel to have this completely functional Hyrule at the end? That you get to play in and get to fly around in with your vehicles. I don't know. I feel like that just makes it so that your Tears of the Kingdom file would have so much value to just like keep and like always experiment and oh wow. I feel like the last Blood Moon has happened so recently. Wait. Where's the Akala Citadel? Ah, too bad. I wanted to... Oh, wait. This is actually interesting. So this is where the Blood Moon is. Ah, I guess I missed it. If I was here at like 9, maybe I could have gotten the shot from the Akala Citadel. The trailer shot, because it like looks at the Blood Moon and like this stuff in the background. But maybe the moon actually also takes a different path in Tears of the Kingdom. I never actually considered this, because the moon started like there, right? So how would I get a shot from the Akala Citadel with the moon where this mountain, Polymus Mountain, is in the background? Is it even possible? Suspicious. We did have comments about the sun. I actually don't even know how astrology works. I'm just realizing. Because we did have talks about the sun in Tears of the Kingdom potentially being in a different orbit because of a different season. Maybe the same thing applies to the moon. I'm not sure. Don't actually know how astrology works. I'm just figuring out. But yeah. Blood Moon definitely always hits different. But anyway, let's go back to the point of rebuilding Hyrule. The slab of ruins that was shown in the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay teaser, and again, obviously this might just not be a thing. Maybe we can't rebuild Hyrule in the first place. Was next to the Proxim Bridge, and I think we can actually look exactly what these ruins are called. The East Post Ruins. East Post, let's think. Because where Link is landing in the trailer is like around here, pretty much, right? This is where the little vehicle station is, and the slab is like here. So being able to rebuild the Outpost ruins, the East Post ruins, similar to how they look maybe in Age of Calamity, slowly rebuilding things like the Great Plateau, maybe even the Temple of Time, restoring that to full glory. Like, man, this definitely does make me super excited. I don't want to get too hyped for it, because I do think there's a fair chance that rebuilding Hyrule is not a thing. And I definitely agree with people that are saying the timing seems off. Why would you want to rebuild Hyrule at its worst timing? Okay, by the way, we just unlocked this shop, right? Wait, was I lied to? Was I lied to? I didn't actually get any more completion. Okay, maybe we are doing this for no reason. Because I know I'm all over the place in today's episode, but the reason I'm even getting this location here, this shop, was because I had heard that each single shop of Tarry Town actually adds completion to your map. I previously thought only Tarry Town itself, the location, adds something to the map. And I guess I'm gonna continue and see if the other shops add anything. But if that's not the case, I actually am missing some locations in the world that I'm missing some locations in the world that I previously wasn't aware of. Okay, I actually do have to warp here now. I'm doing some on-the-fly troubleshooting. Just to explain you what I was doing again, I thought I needed to get the other two shops in Tarry Town constructed to reach more completion of the map. But this might actually be wrong. I might have been misinformed about this. And what I want to do is I briefly want to, because I hadn't actually checked this, which was my mistake in the first place. But I'm going to warp here now to see if I even have, because I should have 898 Korok seeds. 896. So this was all wrong. I'm not even missing stuff in Tarry Town. Oh, okay. Well, I was misinformed here, but you know what? At this point, we have time to kill. We're constructing Tarry Town anyway. Now I can definitely for certain say that this is not the case. We had this discussion in my Discord. There's somebody named Mr. Cheese that made a map for Breath of the Wild showing all discoverable locations in the game. And the shops on the Tarry Town map count as discoverable locations, which makes sense because the little shop icons only appear once you progress Tarry Town to a certain point, but they do actually not add to your map meter. Good to know. I actually have this plan. If Tears of the Kingdom really sucks somehow for speedrunning, one run that I want to do is going to be a 100% run that only cares about the 100% meter in the bottom left. This would be quite the interesting run. It would in fact do no shrines. It would just discover the shrine locations, get Korok seeds and discoverable locations to the vine beasts and stuff, and do some shrine quests to get shrines like Ragnarok out of the ground. It would actually be a pretty interesting but fast version of a 100% run that I would like to test out in the future. But yeah, I am straying off topic again. Looks like Tarry Town completion was basically for no reason in this playthrough, but also not for no reason because Tarry Town is nice. It's nice to have. If we have some extra spare time at the end, I can also easily just do the wedding. That's always a wholesome moment. But yeah, let's set Bronson back there. And then we'll get Faisen from Rito Village. But yeah, let me know what you think. Again, when I first brought up the idea of rebuilding Hyrule, a lot of people said they don't want this, just because it would give them like anxiety, having to finish up the entire map. Collector's anxiety, the classic. Other people said this is a stupid idea because Ganon is wreaking havoc and it doesn't make sense to rebuild Hyrule if it's gonna get crushed by another meteor right away. Again, we would have the option to have this be like a late game fetch quest type of thing. And other people really love the idea and really hope that it's gonna become a reality. I am definitely in the last group of people, mainly because I'm just so committed to Tears of the Kingdom. I know I'm going to be playing it so much that I don't mind if it's going to take me like a really long time to rebuild Hyrule, but I can definitely understand that that's not true for everyone. Yeah, okay, I definitely got the confirmation here. I did unlock the clothing shop. It did not add any completion to the map. Learned something once again about Breath of the Wild, this time for certain though, after playing for way too long. By the way, some people ask me if I can show this. Here you can see 5,500 hours played on Breath of the Wild. This is my main profile, so this is without LimCube plus the account, the daily account where I actually play on. And I've already done like 180 videos on this, so you can kind of do the math. I have around 6,000 hours, and I still didn't know that this is actually the case. But let's talk to Hudson one more time, and then send Faisen over to Tarry Town, and that's where we leave it for now. I was thinking that we would actually progress our playthrough here. This is not the case. But we learned something new, and I got to kind of give you my thoughts on potentially rebuilding Hyrule and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm basically going to say goodbye to you here already. Thank you for watching. I'm going to end the episode here by sending Faisen to Tarry Town. Tears of the Kingdom will come out in 33 days, which is absolutely ridiculous. It feels incredibly close, and I'm really excited. Also, I will sit down tomorrow, figure out what other 2 Korok seeds I'm missing. I'm only at 896. I know that I'm missing this one and this one in Farron, so it's gonna be a very fun time figuring out what other 2 Koroks I somehow missed, even after going over the map once again. That'll be a good time. But, yeah, that being said, let's send Faisen over there. And then at least we have Tarry Town ready with a big arrow shop as well. Might actually, you know, as we get closer to installing the DLC, I might go over there and stock up on some arrows. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Faisen's on his way to Tarry Town. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.